Okay, so another fantastic day here in the garage workshop. Right, so today the MIG welder arrived. I'm going to give you a little bit of a run through with that and try and give you a little bit of a few pointers on setting the thing up. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so the MIG welder itself is a Clark Weld MIG 120 NG, under £150. It's a gasless bit of kit. So that comes with a bit of the core as a built-in flux, which provides the gas when it's heated. Okay, so we're not going to run out of gas. Comes complete with a visor. Perhaps not the most professional of things, but perfectly adequate for the home user. And a little tiny brush and chipping hammer, getting rid of any slag that you might have with it. Very easy to actually set up. The top slides back. I've already set this one up. Basically, the wire goes in, feed it through, switch it on, and feed it back then through the nozzle. We've got a lovely little nozzle here. Conventional tips on the end and shroud. So if you're used to a MIG, this is something that you've perhaps been used to. Nice little hook for hanging it on here, and then the earth lead. Perhaps could do with being a bit more robust. But it's perfectly adequate. Again, bearing in mind this is not a professional unit, this is a hobby MIG, so a nice bit of kit. I'm pretty well impressed with what I've received for my money. So yeah, quite tidy, very light, comes in a nice little box, so I'm not going to be trying to find a way to actually store it to keep it looking fresh. And about a metre or so of cable, or a couple of metres of cable on there, so we can get away from the bench, so to speak. But there we are. Now I'm going to be setting everything up this morning, and what I'm going to be doing is tackling the back panel on the car and filling in those plug welds, and I'll stop the video halfway through to show you what we're doing and how we're trying to achieve it. So what I've started to do is to deal with the spot welds, or that I've made. I've drilled these little holes out, and we've now started to fill these with molten weld. And the way that we do that, basically, we'll take the tip, and when the wire's actually being fed out, let me switch it on. There we go. As the unit actually comes out, there's a feed of wire which comes out. When that actually mates with the panel, and when the trigger's actually pulled, there's a current that flows between the panel and that piece of wire. That causes the wire to melt. Now what I'm actually trying to do is to make a little ball of weld within, that's going to pull that panel and this panel together, and effectively fuse the two to become one, and using the weld to actually plug the hole. Okay. Unfortunately I can't show you that because I can't weld, film and actually explain it all at the same time. But what I would suggest is that when you do get your MIG welder, is to have a little bit of a play with it and see what you can do. All right, now I'm just going to go and finish up the rest of the welds on this, and then I'm going to show you what we do to actually dress it and clean it all up. I can honestly say, for a MIG welder that's £150, it's an amazing bit of kit. This panel is now on very securely. All the welding's done. I've machined it all down, and now I'm just going to obviously flat up the rest of the panel and put a little bit of sealer over the join, and then give it a coat of primer. Let's have a look at it in a minute or two. Right, so all cleaned down, and I've masked up along the top line where I'm going to we're going to be painting up to, and I've put some primer across the back, just basically to give it some protection. I'm now going to give it a coat of gloss black paint. None of this can actually be seen, so I'm not at this point worried about little pinholes or imperfections in the panel. That's irrelevant. It won't be seen, but what I do need it to be is to be structurally sound. So this is what we've got, and I'm going to now gloss it up. Okay, so this is perhaps a little bit harder to see, but what we've got here, I've got 3 plates which I've got in various states of weld for you, to basically so you can see what we're doing. One here, I've got it tacked in place. I'll run round it with a wire brush just to make sure that all the areas that I'm doing are clean and free of any paint, so we get a good weld. I've got another one here where I've done a few spots on it to bring the panel together so it's pinned in place, and then what I've started to do is to tank weld that panel actually in place so it's one continuous seam. I have a preference for that, and I do believe that for MOTs that's actually what's required, although I don't know. But one piece of metal is welded together is obviously got to be a lot stronger. Then what we've got is a panel like this bit here, which has been all welded and then machined back, ready for a little bit of sealer to put over the top, pick up any of the little pinholes. Now bearing in mind, again, this is inside the car, underneath. It's going to be in the footwell. I'm not too worried about the finish of it, so we won't put in a filler over or finishing this off. Literally it'll be a question of a bit of primer and a bit of sealer and dealing with the same from underneath. Okay, so back panel's now got some gloss black on it, and I'm just try fitted the bumper bar on the back. Basically I want to give the back panel a little bit of time to dry off, and I'll run over it with a little bit of sealer and then flat it down and give it another coat so it's got plenty of paint on. But I just wanted to try the bumper bar on, make sure it fitted without too much aggravation, and honestly it slid straight on, so that's all good. In the boot, all the plates are all welded in. I've got that all done. That's all been cleaned out, machined up, it's ready to go. I've got some brush sealer coming, which I'm going to run over with some sealer over those repairs, and then I'll colour it up. Now I don't want to put under seal on it. Under seal doesn't actually dry, and if you put some paint on, which I'm going to do, you'll end up with it all smudging out, and then it ends up all over your spare wheel and everything. So this has got to be painted, and it's got to be a little bit presentable. So a little bit of brush sealer that can be painted once it's dried, and then I'm going to give it a coat of the green paint on the inside. I've got some on order, so that'll be all nice. If anyone lifts the spare wheel up, they're not going to be greeted with a black slimy greasy mess. So all the holes sorted, and it's all now solid. So I hope you guys are enjoying the videos. What I have found, and this is all new to me, so I'm sorry about camera angles and all that kind of stuff and lighting. I'm trying to learn, and it's a little bit difficult trying to do things as I go along, and trying to remember that maybe that's a good thing to take a video of. But if you like what you see, please subscribe. And when you do subscribe, what you'll see is a little bell icon. Now if you press on the bell icon, you'll get a notification every time I do a new video. My email address here is r.bolam, that's Bravo Oscar Lima Alpha Mike at iCloud.com. If you've got something specific you want me to try and answer or look at for you, or do or show on my car, feel free to email me. I don't intend this thing to be on the road very soon, and you know, it's nice to know that there's somebody else out there appreciating what I'm doing. I'm getting some great feedback from you guys from various sites, and I really do welcome it. But in time of lockdown, it's my only point of contact with the great outside, and I'm really enjoying it. So remember, if you're going to subscribe, please press the icon bell icon so you get a notification when the new one comes out, and I'm going to try and do one about every week. All right, look forward to speaking to you guys soon. Bye.